Hey everyone, welcome back to Velocity, where today, CallMeCarson has actually himself broken his silence. He has uploaded a video to his YouTube channel. That's right, I know I've made a few videos before on maybe a tweet he's done, somewhere he's appeared, like just some sort of small thing. But this time, it is an actual breaking of the silence. There is a schedule, there is a date in place, and it's really been met with a mixed reception. So if you don't know about the whole CallMeCarson situation, I would recommend you watch my past couple videos. I kind of go over it a little bit, and I also talk about like the little things that he said about coming back every now and again, about whether or not he's making a return, and it sort of just makes sense to see them before you see his official return. And also very quickly before we start this video, like the video, otherwise you are a rotten egg. Anyway, let's get into it. So before I start, I'm just gonna say the reception for CallMeCarson's return on like all platforms has been hugely supportive. Everyone seems to be happy to have him back. And I say that, you may be surprised. Everyone really, well, no, not everyone, because Twitter is completely divided. I've never seen a situation like this where there's been a trend and it is a direct 50-50 of people fully supporting him and then some other people hating him and hating on his fans. It's really just perplexing. But before we go any further, what did Carson actually say? Well, I'll just play the video to sort of let you know his full response. You kind of need to see all of it just to have a full idea of the situation.
Hey guys, it's been a while. This isn't going to be your average YouTuber apology video, and I'm not going to make it long and drawn out. I've learned a lot this past year. I'm not seeking forgiveness, nor am I looking to make excuses. I'm sure some of you are expecting some long drawn out video explaining my truth of the situation. But I have no intentions of doing that. I'd much rather just tell you what I can do in the future. For the next year, I plan to donate 100% of my profits to charity, with a different charity being the focus each month. Now, before you start thinking of this as an excuse to sweep things under the rug, that's not what this is. I'm doing this because I want to turn a negative situation with a lot of eyes on it into something positive that can help a lot of people. I'm going to officially come back to streaming on September 1st at twitch.tv/CallMeCarson live, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about how this year charity will work.
So there we have it. We have an official return, we have an official date, and we have an itinerary, I guess. We have an idea of what's going to be happening on these streams, which is pretty cool. And also, the fact that he's donating 100% of everything to charity is, again, pretty cool. That is just cool to see. Like, that is just a net positive. You can't really be annoyed at that. And I think a lot of the criticism that I'm seeing is people saying, oh, he hasn't addressed the situation, he hasn't spoken about the situation, or he hasn't apologized for the situation, to which I ask, why the hell would you need an apology as a Twitter user? You're somebody who is on Twitter, who doesn't watch his content. Why the hell should he apologize to you? Like, it's been resolved privately. I don't understand this mentality. For example, this person, CallMeCarson handled it well. Dude, he didn't handle it, lol. He just said he'd donate to charity. I still have so many questions about this stuff. And you know what? You probably do have questions, but it's not for you to know. Like, I don't understand this sense of entitlement that you have from so many people online where they think they deserve to know the full ins and outs of a situation. Like, if you feel uncomfortable about the situation, or if you feel like there's something more that hasn't been said that you're not comfortable with, then don't watch, like, don't support the stream. But to say things like, I still have so many questions, is so arrogant, if anything. And that kind of seems to be the general reaction from one half of Twitter. It kind of seems to be, I still have questions, you know, I don't know if they've resolved this situation, I don't know if they've done this. And if you're one of those people, I mean, you're probably never gonna know. You're probably never gonna know about the situation, about this whole thing, because it isn't really any of your business. It's a private matter that got resolved between Carson and the victim here. And if you don't believe me, just look at this Discord screenshot from Carson. This was in January. Long story short, when I was 19, I texted a couple viewers that were 17, extremely regrettable and incredibly embarrassing. Felt guilty since, apologized to them both and resolved it privately last year. Then Keem got a hold of it like 2 days ago. So yeah, the situation was already resolved before it was public, but apparently no one else is happy with the fact that the public haven't been apologized to. I did actually see a really interesting take from Jaden, who is another Minecraft commentator. I'm sure a lot of you people know who he is. He tweeted, Carson Neg, he's white. And you know what? I think he might have a point here. But there is one issue with Carson's stream, which is going to be pretty difficult for Carson to either explain or get over. apparently the 1st of September, when he plans to do his first stream back, is a boycott day on Twitch. I actually found out through this tweet, which says, "For the love of God, do not watch Carson's stream. There is a boycott on Twitch that day so that Twitch will finally do something about the hate raids on minorities. Do not watch it." And I don't know anything about that. You know, I am not a part of that situation, so I can't comment on it, but it does kind of seem like pretty bad timing from Carson here. And I mean, because it's Twitter, obviously you're gonna have a few toxic people in the replies saying, "Oh, I'm gonna watch it anyway," without knowing anything about it. I don't know anything about the situation. I don't know anything about that. Maybe it'll be something that's worth looking into before you decide whether or not you want to watch that stream. But yeah, kind of just seems like a little bit of bad timing, maybe a little bit of misplanning on Carson's part, let's say. But I think the main thing, which I stressed in my other videos, which I also think is important to address in this video, is the way that a lot of people seem to have this attitude of, oh, Carson's friends went behind his back and went to Keemstar and made it a bigger situation than it was, which if you look at Carson's message, it makes sense why you would think that. But I saw an interesting thread, which I think is worth reading out. Also, before we start reading this thread, I don't 100% agree with everything they say, but I just thought it was an interesting take. People saying stuff about how Carson's friends betrayed him and such for drama are so stupid. Schlatt released a whole video saying that when the allegations initially came up, him and his close friends stuck with him to help his mental health and only cut ties with him when it was revealed that he wasn't improving from his behavior and not being completely genuine with them, and according to some of his friends, never apologized to them. I'm sick of these CMC bootlickers acting like they know better than his own friends whom had helped him at his worst state mentally. Like Schlatt said, he isn't a straight up wrong'un, but he was still extremely crappy to some of his closest friends and abused his power in order to engage in inappropriate conversations with his fans where he had significantly more power in those DMs. If CMC improved, that's cool. If he went to therapy, that's cool. But people that abuse their power like that shouldn't be allowed to be in a position where they can abuse that power again. This isn't a Twitter canceling moment. This isn't Stans being sensitive. It's the law. And I kind of agree and disagree with this take. Like, I think he definitely has a point in that talking about so many people go after his friends and say, oh, his friends went to Keemstar, his friends betrayed him. But when you have someone who is in that sort of a state, who is still doing these things and not improving, I mean, what other option do you have? They stuck with him for a while. I spoke about this in my other videos, but his friends all stuck with him and they've kind of been snubbed. They've kind of been forgotten about, which sucks. That is just kind of crappy behavior. I do think when you talk about him being in a position of power, if you were to read the DMs, I don't think that is 100% what was happening, but I'm not the person in the situation. I wasn't there, so I can't really comment. Anyway, that's kind of all I had to say on the situation. This will probably be my last video on it because, you know, now he's going to be streaming again. He's going to be making videos again. And honestly, it's up to you whether or not you want to support him if you're an old fan. I might tune in. I think after everything that's come out, it's going to be quite difficult to go back and watch that because he might not have improved. I don't know. I'll just wait until more comes out. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Leave a comment down below on what your guys' thoughts are and leave a like if you enjoyed. I always appreciate seeing loads of likes and loads of comments. Click one of the videos on screen if you enjoyed this video because it will probably be very similar and you'll probably enjoy it just as much. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much guys for watching and I'll see you next time.